The following is a presentation of the City of Miamisburg, celebrating its bicentennial in 2018.
Good afternoon. How is everyone? I'd like to welcome everyone to 2017 Mound Elementary D.A.R.E graduation. I always like to start off by thanking the City of Miamisburg, the Miamisburg City School District, and the Miamisburg Police Department for their support of the D.A.R.E program, because without it, today wouldn't be possible. I'd also like to thank all the parents and relatives that have joined us today. I had a great time working with your kids this year. You should be very proud of them. I know I am. They did a great job. I also want to welcome the fourth graders, and I look forward to seeing you guys next year in D.A.R.E class. Some of the topics we talked about, I'll be very brief. We talked about the dangers of alcohol and tobacco. We talked about good decision-making skills and how to resist peer pressure. We talked about bullying, and we talked about how to be safe with over-the-counter and prescription drugs. The goal, especially for you fifth graders, is to take that information, use it, especially as you get into middle school and high school and you encounter difficult situations. We have some guests here today that came to congratulate you on your accomplishment. We have from the City of Miamisburg, the Mayor, Dick Church. From the Miamisburg Municipal Court, we have the Judge, Robert Reddick.
Good afternoon.
The Miamisburg City Schools, we have your Superintendent, Dr. David Vale. From the City of Miamisburg, we have the Assistant City Manager, Tom Thompson. And from the Miamisburg Police Department, we have Sergeant John Thompson. And of course, you all know your principal, Mr. Black. Our guests would like to say a few words to you, and we'll begin with Mayor Church.
Thank you, Officer Doug. And first of all, congratulations to all the graduates of the D.A.R.E program. This is the 21st year for D.A.R.E in the Miamisburg City School System. And to me, it's one of the most important programs that we have. And it is great working with the Miamisburg Board of Education in cooperation with this program. I want to introduce two people that are taping this today for the Miami Valley Communications Council. I have to tell you, you guys really rate. It's usually just one. We have two cameras here today. Liberty Lord is on that camera. Joe McKenzie is on that camera. You'll be able to watch this program many times between now and the next Mound D.A.R.E graduation. You know, we keep throwing different things at our young people today, and you've heard a lot about heroin, and in addition to all the other things you're learning about. But heroin is a very dangerous drug, and I just hope that none of you ever get involved in that. There's a lot of people out here rooting for you to have a great life. And when you get involved in drugs, it's not going to be a great life, I can tell you. I can also guarantee you that someday, and I say this every year, but it's important because it will happen. Someday, at some time, you are going to be challenged by someone wanting you to do something that you know is wrong. It may be today, it might be next week, it might be 10 years from now. But I just hope that whenever that happens, you remember the lessons you learned in D.A.R.E and just say no. And if you say no, I know you're going to have a great rest of your life. Congratulations, and have a great summer vacation.
Next, we have Judge Reddick.
Thank you. I'm Robert Reddick. I'm the Miamisburg Municipal Court Judge, and I've got to talk to a number of you. This year what I'm speaking about is, has your mother ever said to you, if your friends jumped off a bridge, would you jump too? Mom said that to you. You know, my mother used to say that to me. It's a tried and true example. My problem is, I have a lot of kids that jump off that bridge. So what I'm asking you to do is think for yourself. Be thoughtful and mindful, and don't just go along with the crowd. I've lately seen a lot of things that make you go, why would the person even think about doing that? And the only thing that makes any sense to me is peer pressure. Their friends are doing it, so they're going to do it too. I've seen young, pretty girls get facial piercings. I don't know why. Doesn't make any sense to me. I've seen young men do dishonorable things because maybe their friends urged them to. You've got to have the courage of your own convictions. Your parents, you got a great turnout here today. That makes my heart so happy. When you've got support from your family, your parents, your grandparents, your siblings, it's really important. Rely on what you've learned, what you know in your heart of hearts to do the right thing. And if you're doing the right thing, maybe that person sitting next to you today is making a bad decision. Maybe not today, but sometime in the future. I'm asking you to step up and maybe lend a hand or some advice to that friend and say, hey, I think you need to rethink what you're doing. You're not doing a good thing. Drugs will kill you. We're having an epidemic of heroin deaths. Meth's horrible, fentanyl's awful. We just fight that every single day. And the mayor always says, believe me, if you just stay away from that, you'll have a great life. He's telling you the truth. You really will have a great life. You're in a great place, it's safe, you have unlimited opportunities. Take advantage of it. But you're going to go into middle school next year, and it's going to be a lot more pressure maybe to do the wrong thing. And I need you to man and woman up and stand by what you know to be right. Thanks for your time.
Next, we have Dr. Vail.
Good afternoon. It certainly is a privilege for me to represent the Miamisburg Board of Education, the administration, the staff, the entire school community, and on behalf of them to congratulate you and commend you for going through the program and graduating today. We're certainly all in this together. You know, growing up, you've had some wonderful teachers in your life. Those people back there, your moms, your dads, your grandparents, your brothers, sisters, aunts, and uncles have been your first teachers that you had. They taught you right from wrong, good from bad, and all the choices you should make. Then you started school, and you've had some great teachers here at Miamisburg City Schools. They've taught you about good and bad, right and wrong, decision-making, problem-solving, and all those things. And someone that we consider part of our teaching staff is Officer Sherritts. And he's taught you some of the things that your other teachers haven't taught you. We certainly want you to use that knowledge as you move forward and make those decisions that you should be making. You've got a great support group. You've got those people in the back there. You've got your entire school community, and you've got each other. So when something comes up, like the challenges that the mayor talked about and the judge talked about, when you've got those, go to one another. Be a friend to your buddy there. Okay, help them out and rely on them. So if something comes to you, you go to them and be there for them as well. You got 4 days left of school. Hope you finish strong. Have a great summer, and good luck in middle school next year.
And Mr. Thompson.
Hello, guys. Now, I always start off bragging about Officer Doug. He's very rich, and he does give me money for doing it, but it's true. And what I'm going to tell you, because it's important to know that Miamisburg gave you guys an awesome officer to be able to teach you. And so the things that he said and the things that you guys in 4th grade are going to hear from Officer Doug next year, really listen to. They're very important. He was an awesome police officer, very brave, very smart, treated people with respect, and he's actually cool and funny. You guys agree with that? Is he cool and funny? Yeah? Yeah. Some of you don't look so sure. Anyways, so we really appreciate you from the city, and we're sending one of our best to work with you. And so you guys are lucky for that, to have him. What I want to talk to you guys about is different than drugs, but it's bullying. And how many of you guys have heard the phrase, sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me? You guys heard that before? But it's not really true, is it? Because sometimes when people call you names or make fun of you, it does hurt. Sometimes it hurts worse than getting hit. And I can tell you, I promise you, that me and everybody else in this room, including all your parents, still can remember times when they were your age or near your age, when somebody wasn't nice to them, somebody bullied them, somebody treated them poorly. And they remember that for their whole life. And so it's really, really important that you guys remember that and treat each other with respect. Because every single one of you is very important, very valuable. I don't care if you're a boy or girl, you're tall or short, long hair, short hair, what color your eyes are, your skin is, your hair is, or you don't have any hair. It's all, you guys are all extremely valuable. And sometimes you go through times in life where you don't feel so valuable. But I'm telling you right now, you are. You guys are all very special. And that's why it's extra important to treat each other like you're valuable. Because you guys are a big, big deal. And so I know you go through some things in the D.A.R.E decision model on how to approach bullying when it happens. Follow those steps. Follow those steps and really, really keep in mind that you will be better off if you treat somebody well. You'll feel better about yourself, and that person, you'll help them become a better person as well. Okay? You guys have a great summer. I know your parents are pretty jacked about getting you home for a few months. So thank you guys.
The last thing the students do as part of the D.A.R.E program is write what we call a D.A.R.E report. All the students you see seated here not only wrote the report, but got up in front of their classmates and presented their reports. And you guys all did a great job, and we've selected a few to read their reports today. And we'll begin with Gracie Modick.
Before we started D.A.R.E, I had no clue how important making decisions can be. Even in the first lesson, I started realizing how your decisions form your future. Now I can make the important decision to stay away from drugs. Over the few weeks of D.A.R.E, I have learned a lot about being safe and responsible and making safe and responsible choices. I have learned to hit the pause button and think about the D.A.R.E decision-making model, D.A.R.E. The D in D.A.R.E stands for define, what is your problem? A for assess, what are your choices? R for respond, time to make a choice. And E for evaluate, did I make a good decision? You should use the DDMM while making choices. After all, I have learned so much from D.A.R.E. D.A.R.E has helped me choose to never use drugs and form my future. D.A.R.E was really important and I will never forget it, but it was also fun too.
Congratulations. Thank you. Next, we have Teddy Troop.
Have you ever made a bad decision and not thought before you did it? There might be consequences. D.A.R.E classes help me make responsible and safe choices. Like the other day, my brother wasn't making responsible choices. It looks like he wasn't thinking about being safe and responsible. That is why I follow D.A.R.E rules. D.A.R.E has made me think how to be safe and responsible. Every time I see something safe or not responsible, it makes me think of D.A.R.E and what to do. Using the D.A.R.E decision-making model made me feel safe and responsible. D.A.R.E has helped me a lot. Their class has made me feel confident to stay away from the bad choices in the world. I feel much better about myself and making better decisions. There are still a lot of things I need to learn about making better choices. There are a lot of bad things in the world, so I need to stay safe. I know D.A.R.E has helped me. Thank you, Officer Doug.
Next, we have Olivia Helton.
I have learned so many valuable lessons in my D.A.R.E class. Officer Doug has taught me that there is no risk of you getting addicted to a drug or any harmful substance if you never try it. There's absolutely no positive effect of doing drugs or drinking alcohol. There are only harmful effects. Don't take the risk. 75,000 deaths each year are related to alcohol. 400,000 Americans die from tobacco each year. These numbers can change. We have the power to lower these numbers. All we have to do is not be influenced by other people to do drugs, and not just try alcohol and think it's just one sip, I'll be fine, but that's how people get addicted. It's as simple as that. We can be the generation to not do drugs and not die from alcohol or tobacco. D.A.R.E has prepared me for all the choices that I will have to make when I am older. I will always say no to drugs, alcohol, tobacco, and other harmful things. The D.A.R.E decision-making model is define, assess, respond, and evaluate. I will use that model for decisions I make not only for drugs, alcohol, and tobacco-related choices, but for everyday life. I am hoping that none of my 5th grade friends ever end up doing drugs or alcohol. I do hope that my peers don't take the risk and that they all know that doing drugs, tobacco, and alcohol is not worth it in the end. Thank you.
Next, we have Alexander Cook.
Did you guys like D.A.R.E? I know I did, but some people don't like D.A.R.E, and they don't think D.A.R.E matters. But these guys out there who think D.A.R.E doesn't matter, they're wrong. Those people don't understand what drugs can do to you. They can kill you, it can make you suffer, and even give you cancer, which we all know that is terrible. So if you're one of those guys who doesn't think D.A.R.E matters, think again. So say you're a person who loves D.A.R.E. Do you think you'll have a perfect drug-free life? Well, you probably won't have that perfect life. Say you're in college and you get invited into a party and all your friends were going to go, but you know there would be drugs there. Would you still go? Some people in my grade might say no, but how do you know you're going to say no in the future? Do you have a time machine? Didn't think so. So back to my first statement. D.A.R.E is so important, but you don't realize it, do you? That's where I rest my case. You guys out there just don't get it. You guys out there must be crazy to think Officer Doug is wrong, because I know for a fact he is right. So I do hope you guys out there learned a thing or two, because what you are doing is wrong. Thank you and have a nice day.
Next, we have Allie Freese.
D.A.R.E stands for Drug Abuse Resistance and Education. In D.A.R.E, we learn how to say no to drugs and alcohol through our lives. The part that stood out to me the most was alcohol and tobacco, also how we can be confident in saying no to drugs. Tobacco and alcohol are horrible things. When you have consumed alcohol, you cannot do simple things like stand up straight and look people in the eyes. I have learned that there are 75,000 alcohol-related deaths a year. Cigarettes have what is called nicotine, which can cause addiction, yellow teeth, and bad breath. It is illegal to consume alcohol under 21 years old and illegal to sell tobacco to anyone 18 years old. Many people smoke and drink alcohol, which can cause your brain to not work right. Also, if you are under the use of alcohol, your brain and body slows down. If someone will come up to you and ask if you would like to drink alcohol or smoke, just say no. It will save you from doing things you are sure to regret late in life. Never worry about what people will think of you if you say no, because you are making the right choice. If you know that someone is drinking underage or smoking, tell someone that you trust, not only to protect you and that person who is doing it. So as you go through life, remember this: say no to drugs to help you live a safe and healthy life. So I will say no to drugs from now and forever and be confident in saying it.
And we have Adam Larson.
Cigarettes, tobacco, and alcohol are terrible things that people use. They literally rot your insides and kill over 450,000 Americans a year. Every time you use cigarettes, tobacco, and alcohol, you get worse and worse. They make you have health problems, and they can make you look and smell bad too. As you hear this, you will understand why these substances are so bad. Cigarettes and tobacco have horrible effects on your body. Cigarettes have tobacco, which kills more than 400,000 Americans each year. Another 50,000 people die from secondhand smoking. Smoking can yellow your teeth and give you smelly breath. Also, it wrinkles and dries your skin. Cigarettes will give you lung cancer and heart disease. Not to mention they have nicotine, which makes you addicted. Chewing tobacco will cause mouth cancer and tooth loss. Then there's alcohol that causes 75,000 deaths a year. Alcohol can affect the brain by slowing it down with many side effects. It can slow down the body, which can kill you. Alcohol weakens the heart muscle and can damage every organ. Now you know about the bad things alcohol and tobacco do to you. It is important to know that you shouldn't use these things. We learned about how to resist in D.A.R.E class, or drug abuse resistance education. Still, we need to teach more people to say no to alcohol and tobacco. Now, I dare you to make a decision for a healthy future. Thank you.
Congratulations. Good job. Like I said before, all the students did an excellent job on their reports, and those 6 there are just a fine example of that. The last group of people I'd like to thank are the ones that make my job as a D.A.R.E officer very easy, and that's the staff here at Mound Elementary. And that begins with your principal, Mr. Black. And the 5th grade teachers, Mrs. Reed, Mrs. Romali, and Mrs. Elson. It's now time for you guys to receive your certificates, and we'll begin with Mrs. Reed.
Fedora Bodkin, Henry Cooks, Alexander Cooks,
Have a great summer.
Stormy Courtney,
Nice to see you again. Have a great summer.
Seth Fugate,
Have a good speech.
Rachel Gilowski,
Nice to see you again. Have a great summer.
Olivia Helton,
Have a great summer.
Peyton Hoskins,
Have a great summer.
Nancy
Ruby, I love
Issa,
your speech. Have a great summer.
Griffin Young,
Have a great summer.
Angelina Knight,
Have a great summer.
Micah
Have a
McIntosh,
great summer.
Herschel Million,
Have a great summer.
Eddie Org,
Summer.
Cadence Powers,
Have a great summer.
Jennifer Renderly,
Have a great summer.
Caleb Smith,
Have a great summer. Good luck in middle school.
and Lucas Williams.
Have a great summer. Have a great summer and good luck in middle school.
Thank you.
Good luck in middle school. Only 4 more days.
Next, we have Mrs. Romali's class.
We'll start off with Alyssa Winkowitz, Maya Tipton, Salah
summer.
Rusla,
Have a great summer and good luck in middle school too.
Maisam Rusla,
Good luck in middle school.
Andrew Jackson Dunaway,
Have a great summer.
Netta Issa, Andrew Hopkins, Jamie Glasscock,
Have a great summer.
Jocelyn
Good
Cradleball,
summer.
Brendan
Good
Carter,
summer.
Brooklyn Bauer,
Have a great summer.
Cammie Bauer,
Have a great summer.
Preston Barr,
Great summer.
Garrett Barnhart,
Have a great summer.
Cassidy Bailey,
Have a great summer.
Teddy Troop, Jaylee Thomas,
It's Alexander, isn't it? Have a great summer.
Grace
Great
Moddett.
Have a great summer.
Congratulations, guys.
Have a great summer.
And Mrs. Elson's class.
Thank you. Congratulations, folks. I'm very proud of you, and I hope that if the day ever comes that you are asked to do drugs, that you know within your heart that all of your parents out there or any of the gentlemen standing here, Officer Doug or myself, will be there for you if you need help to say no. We're all there for you. So I'm very glad of all you've learned, and let's get it going with Allie Freeze. Adam Larson,
Holly, I love your speech. It's very well done. You did a good job giving it.
thank you. Phoebe Zabrowski,
Yeah, I like your speech, Alan. You did a good job. Have a great summer.
Haley Reynolds,
Have a great summer.
Casey Wilson,
Good luck in middle school.
Allie Turner,
Have a great summer.
Michaela Truitt,
Have a great summer.
McKenna Spiegel,
Good luck in middle school.
Musha Stawy,
Good luck in middle school.
Mason Penrod,
Good luck in middle school.
Cole Pauling,
Good luck in middle school.
Lane Lehman,
Good luck in middle school.
Chris Ingalls,
Have a great summer.
Kellen Fisk, Anna Current,
Summer.
Kayla Cole,
Great summer.
Dylan Bice,
Good luck in middle school.
and Kelsey Huff, who is not here today.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Have a great summer. Have a great summer. 4 more days.
Last thing we'll do as part of the D.A.R.E graduation is I have a short little video to show you of classes here at Mound Elementary. Once again, I'd like to give a big round of applause to our D.A.R.E graduates. They did a great job. Fourth graders, I look forward to seeing you next year in D.A.R.E class, and fifth graders, I look forward to seeing you next year in sixth grade classes. So have a great summer, and thanks for coming.